Good evening. Tonight, let us leave behind the noise of the modern world. Let the busy streets grow distant. Let the bright screens slowly fade away. And let us travel together along a lonely highway somewhere deep in the American countryside. Imagine yourself driving late at night. The hour has already passed midnight. The roads are almost empty now. Most towns are asleep. The gas stations are dark. The diners have closed their doors. Even the wind outside feels quiet and tired. Your hands rest gently on the steering wheel. The soft hum of the engine fills the silence. Headlights stretch across the long road ahead like pale ribbons of light. And somewhere far away in the darkness, beyond the trees and telephone poles, there is a small motel. A motel that does not appear on any map. A motel with a glowing sign that flickers softly in the night. A place that travelers only seem to notice after midnight. Some people say the motel has always been there. Others say it only appears when the road becomes especially lonely. But tonight, as the night air grows colder and the highway stretches endlessly before us, we will slowly visit that strange little place together. Not with fear, not with panic, but with quiet curiosity. So settle in, adjust your blanket, close your eyes if you wish, and let us begin our slow journey toward the motel that appeared after midnight. The road is long tonight, very long. There are no large cities nearby, only miles of empty highway crossing through forests, open plains, and sleepy little towns. The moon hangs high above the road. Its pale silver light touches the tops of the trees. Telephone wires hum quietly in the cold night air. Every few miles, an old road sign appears beside the highway. Most of the paint has faded. Some signs lean slightly sideways. Others seem forgotten entirely. You continue driving. Not fast, not slow, just steadily. The radio crackles now and then. One moment, soft country music plays. The next moment, there is only static. Somewhere far away, thunder rolls softly beyond the hills. But no storm ever arrives. The deeper into the night you travel, the stranger the road begins to feel. It is not frightening, only unusual. The highway seems quieter than it should be. Even the insects outside have gone silent. You pass an old truck stop. Its lights are off. The parking lot is empty. A rusty soda machine stands beside the entrance like a forgotten memory. A few miles later, you pass an abandoned diner. The windows are dusty. The old sign above the roof still promises hot coffee and pie, but nobody has entered that diner for many years. As the night grows deeper, you begin noticing fewer and fewer cars. Eventually, none at all. Only you and the endless road. The white lines on the pavement drift beneath the headlights again and again in a slow rhythm. Almost hypnotic, almost dreamlike. You begin to feel as though the road itself has fallen asleep. Then, somewhere ahead in the darkness, a faint glow appears. At first, it looks like nothing more than a distant porch light, but slowly the glow grows brighter. A neon sign, flickering softly, blue and gold. Motel. Vacancy. The letters buzz gently in the night. You do not remember seeing this place on any map, and yet, there it is, standing quietly beside the empty highway as though it has always been waiting. A narrow gravel road leads toward the building. Small lamps glow beside the entrance. The windows shine warmly against the darkness. And after hours of empty road, the little motel suddenly feels strangely welcoming. So you slow the car, turn the wheel, and leave the highway behind. The gravel crunches softly beneath the tires.
The motel is small, older than most roadside motels, perhaps built sometime during the 1950s or 1960s. The building forms a long rectangle around a quiet parking lot. Each room has a single yellow porch light beside the door. Most of the curtains are closed. The air smells faintly of rain and pine trees. Near the office, an old soda machine. Beside it stands a metal ice bucket filled with melting cubes. You park the car. The engine falls silent, and suddenly the entire world feels still. Not empty, not cold, only still. The motel office glows warmly through wide front windows. A small bell rests upon the wooden counter inside. An old clock on the wall. You step through the door. A tiny bell. The lobby feels frozen in another decade. There are postcards on a spinning rack, old magazines neatly stacked on a table, a coffee machine in the corner, a ceiling fan above. Behind the desk sits the motel owner, an older man with silver hair and tired but kind eyes. He wears a brown sweater and reads quietly beneath a yellow lamp. When he notices you, he smiles politely. "Long drive tonight?" His voice is calm, almost sleepy. You nod. Outside, the wind brushes softly against the windows. The man slides a heavy guest book across the counter. Its pages are thick and yellowed with age. You notice something unusual. The handwriting inside the book stretches back many decades. Names from the 1970s, names from the 1960s, even older names written carefully in fading ink. Some guests listed their hometowns: Chicago, Denver, New Orleans, Phoenix. Travelers from everywhere. The motel owner hands you an old-fashioned brass key, not a plastic key card, a real key, heavy and cold. Room 8. He points quietly toward the far end of the building. Before you leave, you glance toward a wall filled with clocks. Each clock shows a different city: New York, Los Angeles, Dallas, Seattle. But every clock shows the exact same time: 12:17 a.m. Even stranger, none of the clocks appear to move. The second hands remain perfectly still. You look again. Still frozen. The motel owner notices your curiosity. Then he smiles gently. "The clocks stop after midnight," he says softly. And somehow, the sentence feels perfectly normal, as though it belongs here. You thank him quietly, pick up the key, and step back outside into the cool night air. The porch lights glow softly along the motel walkway. Moths drift lazily around the bulbs. The night air smells faintly of wet pavement and old cedar wood. You walk slowly toward room 8. The brass key feels heavy in your hand. Somewhere nearby, an ice machine, then becomes quiet again. The motel feels peaceful, almost suspended outside normal time. You unlock the door. Inside, the room is warm. A small lamp glows beside the bed. An old radio sits near the window. The curtains move gently in the cool breeze from an open crack. The furniture is simple: a wooden dresser, a round table, a faded armchair near the lamp. Everything smells faintly of clean sheets and old books. You place your bag beside the bed. The room feels strangely comforting. Not luxurious, not modern, but calm. The wallpaper carries tiny patterns of pine trees and mountains. On the wall hangs a framed painting of an empty highway beneath the moon. The soft buzzing of the motel sign drifts faintly through the window. Vacancy. 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 A slow and steady rhythm. You sit quietly for a moment, listening. Somewhere far away, a train horn, then silence returns once more. You notice a small leather-bound Bible resting inside the bedside drawer. Beside it lies a faded postcard. The postcard shows the same motel, but something is different. The cars parked outside belong to another era. Large, old-fashioned vehicles with wide chrome bumpers. People wearing clothing from decades long gone. At the bottom of the card are the words, "Welcome to Moonlight Pines Motel. Open all night." There is no date. You turn the card over. Nothing written. Outside, the wind moves softly through the pine trees. The old radio suddenly, a quiet jazz song begins playing. Warm trumpet music from another time.
You walk toward the radio. The tuning dial glows faint orange, yet the radio is not plugged into anything. Still, the music continues. Soft, slow, dreamlike. You sit beside the window and watch the parking lot below. A few other cars rest beneath the lamps, but you cannot remember hearing them arrive. One by one, motel room lights switch off. Soon, only a few windows remain glowing in the darkness. As the night grows quieter, you begin wondering who else might be staying here tonight, and how long they have been traveling. Sleep does not come immediately. Instead, you remain awake beneath the soft motel lamp, listening to the distant music from the radio. After some time, curiosity gently pulls you outside again. The parking lot remains calm and silent. A pale mist now drifts low across the pavement. The motel sign flickers lazily above. You notice movement near the soda machine. An elderly woman sits quietly in a chair beside the office. She wears a blue coat and holds a paper cup of coffee between her hands. When she notices you, she smiles kindly. "Beautiful night," she says. Her voice sounds peaceful. Tired, but peaceful. You sit nearby. The night air feels cool against your skin. The woman explains that she has been traveling for a very long time, longer than expected. She tells stories slowly, as though each memory is carefully wrapped in soft cloth. She once traveled across America during the late 1960s. She remembers neon signs glowing beside every highway, roadside diners open all night, families packed into station wagons, children asleep beneath blankets in the back seats. She remembers deserts beneath enormous stars, mountain roads covered in fog, rain tapping against motel windows. As she speaks, the night around the motel seems to grow softer, almost blurred at the edges. Soon, another traveler joins the conversation, a quiet truck driver wearing a denim jacket. He carries an old thermos of coffee. He says he discovered the motel many years ago during a snowstorm. Back then, he had been driving alone through Wyoming. The roads were dangerous, the sky completely white. Then suddenly, the motel appeared beside the highway, warm lights glowing through the snow. He stayed one night, and somehow never forgot the place. Another traveler arrives, a young woman carrying a worn guitar case. She says she once performed in little roadside bars across Texas and Oklahoma. Late-night songs, dusty stages, endless highways. All of them found the motel unexpectedly. Always after midnight. Always during long, lonely drives. Nobody seems frightened by this. In fact, everyone speaks about the motel with affection, as though it offered rest during moments when the world felt especially heavy. The old woman looks toward the glowing sign. "Some roads become lonely after midnight," she says. "Places like this help people keep going. The breeze moves gently through the trees, and for a long moment, nobody speaks at all. The silence feels peaceful, comfortable, like sitting beside a fire long after the stories are finished." Eventually, the travelers return quietly to their rooms, one by one.
The parking lot grows still again. Above the motel, clouds drift slowly across the moon.
And somewhere beyond the darkness, the endless highway waits patiently beneath the stars. The motel office remains softly lit. Unable to sleep, you wander quietly toward the lobby once more. Inside, the night clerk still sits behind the desk reading his book. A fresh pot of coffee steams gently nearby. The old clock on the wall continues showing 12:17 a.m. Still frozen. The clerk looks up and smiles. Not sleepy yet? You shake your head. Outside the windows, the mist thickens around the parking lot. The motel sign glows like a lighthouse in the darkness. You ask the clerk how long the motel has been here. The old man closes his book carefully, then leans back in his chair. Long enough, he says quietly. He begins speaking in the slow, calm voice of someone who has told many stories during many long nights. The motel, he explains, was built beside the highway decades ago, back when long-distance travel felt different, back when roads were slower, back when people stopped more often to rest. Truck drivers, traveling salesmen, families on summer vacations, musicians, college students, people searching for new beginnings. The motel welcomed all of them. Some stayed one night, others returned again and again across many years. The clerk says the owner believed travelers deserved warmth after midnight. Not just a room, but kindness, a quiet place, a feeling that someone was awake while the rest of the world slept. As the years passed, newer highways were built. Large chain hotels appeared, bright gas stations, fast food restaurants, huge parking lots. Most little roadside motels slowly disappeared, but not this one. The clerk pauses for a moment. The coffee machine bubbles softly beside him. Some places, he says, stay behind when the world changes. He glances toward the frozen clocks, then he smiles faintly. And some places stop caring about time altogether. Outside, rain finally begins tapping gently against the windows. Soft rain. Sleepy rain. The clerk pours 2 cups of coffee. The smell fills the little lobby warmly. He explains that many travelers arrive here during difficult nights, after arguments, after heartbreak, after exhaustion, after feeling lost. The motel never asks questions. It simply offers rest, a room, warm light, quiet music, coffee at midnight. Sometimes, that's enough. The rain continues softly outside, and as you sit listening to the clerk speak beneath the yellow lamps, the motel begins feeling less like a strange place, and more like a forgotten shelter hidden between dreams and memories. Near 1 o'clock in the morning, or perhaps still 12:17, you notice lights glowing faintly across the road. A diner. You are certain it was not there earlier. The clerk notices your surprise. Hungry? He asks softly. You step back outside. The rain has already faded into mist. Across from the motel stands a small chrome diner glowing beneath red neon lights. The sign reads, Starlight Diner, open all night. Warm yellow light spills through the windows. Inside, a few customers sit quietly in booths. You cross the road slowly. The wet pavement reflects the neon glow like colored glass. A bell jingles softly as you enter. The diner smells of coffee, pancakes, and warm butter. Old songs played gently from a jukebox near the wall. The waitress greets you kindly. She wears a pale blue uniform from another era. A little silver name tag reads Ellen. She pours fresh coffee into a thick white mug. Steam curls upward into the warm air. The diner feels timeless. A truck driver quietly eats pie near the counter. A couple shares fries in a corner booth. A tired man in a business suit sleeps gently with his head against the window.
Nobody speaks loudly. Nobody rushes. Outside, the highway remains dark and endless. You order something simple: toast, eggs, perhaps a slice of warm cherry pie. The food tastes comforting. The kind of food served during long road trips and quiet nights. Ellen tells you the diner has welcomed travelers for many years. She remembers families stopping during summer vacations, children carrying comic books, parents drinking coffee while studying maps. Back then, road trips felt slower. People noticed small towns. They stopped to rest. They talked with strangers. The jukebox changes songs. A slow piano melody drifts through the diner. Rainwater slides gently down the windows. For a moment, you feel completely separated from the modern world. No phones ringing, no busy traffic, no rushing crowds, only coffee, soft music, and the comforting glow of a midnight diner beside a lonely highway. Eventually, you finish your meal, thank Ellen quietly, and step back outside. The mist has grown thicker now. The motel sign glows through the fog like a distant star. You walk slowly back across the road, but when you glance behind you once more, the diner lights are gone. The building has disappeared completely. Only an empty field remains beneath the moonlight. And somehow, the silence feels peaceful rather than strange. Back inside room 8, the old radio continues playing softly. Jazz music, then distant piano, then quiet static. You lie back against the pillows and listen to the motel breathing around you. Pipes humming softly, floorboards creaking gently, wind brushing against the roof. Sleep begins pulling at the edges of your thoughts, yet something about the motel keeps you awake. Not fear, only wonder. You begin imagining the countless travelers who once stayed here, a tired salesman removing his shoes after driving 12 hours across Nebraska, a young couple beginning a honeymoon road trip, a soldier returning home, a musician chasing dreams between dusty little towns. Every motel room carries invisible memories, quiet moments left behind by strangers. Perhaps that is why old motels feel different from modern hotels. Modern hotels feel temporary, but old roadside motels feel lived in. You imagine the laughter that once echoed outside these windows decades ago. Children running between parked cars, suitcases rolling across gravel, the smell of gasoline and coffee mixing beneath the summer air. Travel once required patience. People moved slowly. Roads curved through mountains and forests instead of racing straight across the country. And perhaps because journeys were slower, people remembered them more clearly. The motel feels filled with those memories, not haunting, only gentle. Outside, the neon sign buzzes softly once more. Vacancy, vacancy, vacancy. You close your eyes. The sound blends with the wind, then with the distant hum of tires upon highway pavement. The world grows softer, blurrier, heavier. And somewhere between waking and sleep, you dream of endless roads stretching beneath silver moonlight. Roads leading quietly toward warm windows glowing in the dark. At some point, you awaken. The room remains dim and quiet. For a moment, you are unsure how much time has passed. The old clock beside the bed still reads 12:17 a.m. Outside the window, pale fog drifts across the parking lot. But something has changed. The motel feels quieter now, softer, almost distant. You step outside. The air is cool and damp. The parking lot is nearly empty. Only your car remains. The other travelers have vanished. No truck, no guitar case, No elderly woman beside the office, yet their presence somehow lingers gently in the silence. You walk toward the office. The door stands slightly open. Inside, the lamps still glow warmly, but the lobby is empty. The coffee pot sits untouched. The guest book remains open upon the counter. You glance toward the page where you signed your name earlier, but your signature is gone. The page now shows names written decades ago, travelers from another time. Outside, the mist begins slowly lifting from the highway. A faint gray light appears along the horizon. Not sunrise exactly, only the first quiet suggestion of morning. You suddenly feel very tired. The deep, peaceful tiredness that arrives after a long journey. Returning to your room, you gather your belongings quietly. The radio has finally fallen silent. The postcard remains on the table. Welcome to Moonlight Pines Motel. Open all night. You place the postcard carefully into your pocket. Then you walk toward the car. The neon sign flickers softly overhead one last time. Vacancy. The letters buzz gently in the pale mist. You start the engine. The headlights cut across the gravel road, and slowly, you drive back toward the highway. The highway stretches endlessly ahead once more. Morning slowly approaches somewhere beyond the distant hills. The sky begins turning pale blue at the edges. The world is waking again. Soon there will be busy gas stations, morning commuters, coffee shops opening their doors, radio stations playing cheerful songs. But for now, the road still belongs to the quiet hours. You drive gently through the fading darkness. After several miles, curiosity makes you glance into the rearview mirror. But the motel is gone. No glowing sign, no gravel driveway, no warm office lights. Only the empty highway behind you. And yet, the memory of the motel remains strangely clear. The frozen clocks, the soft jazz music, the travelers sharing stories in the cool night air, the warm diner coffee after midnight. Perhaps the motel appears only for those who need rest. Perhaps it waits quietly between lonely roads and tired dreams. Or perhaps some places simply refuse to disappear completely. Places built from memory, from kindness, from warm light shining through darkness. As your journey continues, the night slowly fades away. The tires hum softly against the pavement. The sky brightens little by little. And somewhere far behind you, hidden beyond the mist and pine trees, the motel waits patiently for another traveler to arrive after midnight. Now the road grows quiet once more. So let your thoughts drift slowly.
Let your breathing become calm and gentle. And as this sleepy highway disappears into the distance, may you rest peacefully tonight. Good night. Please subscribe to my channel.